What up, YouTube world? The wild wizarding world of YouTube. How are you guys doing today? I misplaced my knife. I'm so sad about it. It's actually been delaying some videos, but I just said, you know what? Screw it. I want to open one more box before we get our collector's boosters going, and I just can't wait. This set's too awesome. It's just too loaded. Boy, some solid shrink wrap on that one. So yeah, we're going to do one more set booster box opening for the channel. Really stoked on this set. Really trying to be a good boy and save it. And let's get right into it, shall we? So far, I've been very pleased with what we've opened in this. Our tokens. Little foil Phyrexian Atlas on top. Beautiful card. Red Sun's Twilight, our first rare. Destroy up to X target artifacts as X is 5 or more. Create a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Interesting. That seems like a Brutaclad trick right there. First little Phyrexian card, the Sinew Dancer. And we'll just fly through our stuff. Some Bladed Ambassadors and whatnot. If you get a chance, check out the rest of the video. I go on, or the rest of the videos for this set on my channel. Go into more in depth of my analysis, but so far quite pleased. Quite a strong set. Bunch of awesome stuff in it. It's been great to open so far. Route on top there. Little Commander 21 with Alesh Norn herself. End this, what I seek is far greater. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome route from the list slot. And a foil Sheoldred's Headcleaver. Love that foil. Check out some of that color in there. It's beautiful. Phyrexian Vindicator. That's our first one we've opened from 3 boxes. Awesome card. 4 white pips, 5/5 flying. If damage would be dealt to Vindicator, prevent that damage. When it's prevented this way, it deals that much damage to any other target. Really making your opponent think about any red zone action as soon as that lands on the board. And red has problems. Feed the Infection, Infectious Bite. Some fantastic uncommons from this set. And a beautiful, beautiful little planes there. Boom. All right. Let's keep going. Phyrexian Arena art card. So, off to a nice start. Mythic in our first 2 packs with a list slot rare route. Not too shabby. Immered the Stormcleaver, another secret layer drop. He is in Jeskai, white, red, blue, and 1. Whenever Immered the Stormcleaver enters the battlefield or attacks, put a charge counter on it or remove it. Whenever you remove a counter this way, he deals 4 damage to any target, or he gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. Interesting. Interesting. That's a pretty cool little list hit. Rebel Salvo. Beautiful foil there. That's awesome foil. Myrix. It's a land. Pretty interesting little card. Wonder if that'll see play. Oh, Chisgoria, Forge Titan. He's actually seen a pretty penny. Affinity for Artifacts, Flying Haste. So for that 9 mana cost, not too bad with Affinity for Artifacts. Whenever it attacks, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast an artifact from among them. If you do, it has Affinity for Artifacts. Pretty sweet little red artifact gas there. That's pretty sweet. So nice. 2 packs back to back with a list slot rare and a mythic in them. Not too shabby. And just some solid cards. Again, really take a look at the 2 drops in this set. Beautiful foil land there. The uncommon slot in this set. This is a high EV set, at least right now. And I'd imagine it will hold just because the market's probably going to be pretty strong. Phyrexian Goblin. I really like the design of the Phyrexian Goblins. Little Rustvine Cultivator. Foil Urabrask's Forge. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on the forge. Then create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror with Trample and Haste, where X is the number of oil counters on it. Sacrifice that token. Okay, so something for the red proliferate oil strategy. Not that that strategy seems to have a ton of other cards. And Kinzu of the Bleak Coven. We'll double up. Pretty awesome little vampire, black and 4, 5/4 flying. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 2 and exile it. If you do, create a token of it. So pretty interesting thing for cycling a graveyard and aristocrats type strategies. A little Quicksilver Fisher. We'll just move through these nice and smooth. Boom. Koth action on our art card. Expand the sphere. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put up to 2 lands among them on the battlefield tapped. That's not bad for 4. If you put fewer than 2, proliferate any number of times equal to a difference. Huh. That's a pretty sweet ramp card for proliferate decks. Interesting. You don't necessarily get the mode you want out of that. Black Sun's Twilight. Not bad. Some instant speed recursion. Necrogen Rot Priest. Another pretty solid uncommon, especially probably for limited. This is what I'm talking about, though. Empower uncommons. Drown in Icor. Man, that spell is strong. And what about this guy? 4/4 for 5 with Toxic Tea. When he enters the battlefield, return target creature from... Seems like a great pick in limited. And we get to the end there, and there's a nice foily Phyrexian Island. And the Jinji Ito Leshnorn. I've pulled that art card in every box. Ribskiff in foil. The Mycosynth Gardens. Haven't opened one of these yet. This is one of the hot rares from the set right now. Tap, add a colorless. 1 colorless tap, add mana of any color. X and tap. It becomes a copy of non-token artifact you control with mana value X. There's some great shenanigans this can do. Becoming a copy of a Panharmonicon, becoming a copy of an Aetherflux Reservoir, Alhammarret's Archive. Coming off the backs of the sets we've just seen, that's a pretty juicy ability. There's a lot of good artifacts in the market right now. Kethek, Crucible Goliath. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, oh yeah, this is our Rakdos ETB. This is not a bad card at all. Interesting in the full art there. Blake Belly Rat, and we'll just fly through our other cards there for you folks at home. Let's keep the goodies coming. You know, the more we open of a set, the shorter I try to get the videos. Sawblade Scamp in foil, Filigree Silix, Sinew Dancer, and again, some good uncommons. Sheldred's Edict, Minor Misstep. I mean, some fantastic cards there. And the little mountain. Boom. That looks like Nahiri's alternate art card. Ooh, Sword of Feast and Famine. Quite a hit from the list slot there. I do not own a Feast or Famine, and I really like this card. Protection from Black is great for removal, and these are 2 very prominently played colors in Commander, where I would be playing this card, and having an opponent discard a card, hey, that's situational. Some decks want that, but untapping all your lands for the combat step is so good, especially on an equipment. Fantastic card. What a hit for our list slot. Wow, a sword. Love that. Noxious Assault. Oh, Norn's Wellspring. Haven't opened one of these yet. White and 1. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1 and put an oil counter on it. 1 colorless and tap and remove 2 oil counters. Draw a card. Wow, great White Aristocrats card. Again, if you have some untapped triggers when something goes to the graveyard, this is a fantastic card draw. Just scry, scry, scry. Prep, 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 draw. Fantastic card. Like how, I just like that clean, that's a very clean design. Again, amazing uncommon 2-drops. That Slaughter Singer, I think, is a fantastic little bear. Hey, bear. He's just a little bear. He is just a little bear, but he's a good bear. All right. Well, so far, our box has been pretty promising. There's Kato doing his thing. Kato. Phyrexian Might for all those lovely Skitter Blossoms. Hopefully we'll open another one of those today. Distorted Curiosity. Zenith Chronicler. What is this card? 2 colors for a 3/1. Whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. Whoa. Kind of a group hug card. I don't love that much value. You're getting outnumbered on the cards you draw off of that, honestly. But, you know, if you're maybe for a Nekuzar deck, not bad. You know, if you're playing Underworld Dreams types of effects, I can see that being worth it in there, just because you're going to punish all those extra draws. They'll take them early, and then when it gets late, they'll decline. Oh, and it's not a May. Each other player draws a card. So, yeah, some Nekuzar present potential in there. Excuse me. Axiom Engraver in foil. Conduit of Worlds. This reverse or green Crucible of Worlds card. I think this is a cool card too. I think we'll see some land decks start to play this. I think there is some definite potential there, especially for those land decks that landfall out and need some action later. That does what they want if they're milling themselves a lot. Boom, 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 flying through. Beautiful Phyrexian Vindicator art card. Very nice to have opened a Vindicator. The white mythics in this set are powerful. Experimental Augury and foil. Beautiful. Phyrexian Arena. I think that's our first one we've opened. Just a fantastic, solid card. The price always creeps up. I mean, it's one of the... I mean, a black staple in Commander. It's just an extra life to draw 2 every turn. Why not? Why not? If you have any life gain from Aloro to Mono Black to Orzhov, I mean, it's worth it. Every deck wants that. Beautiful island. Again, those Phyrexian lands are so awesome. You don't get all that many in a box, maybe 10 on average, but those are pretty. Resistance Reunited. A little pump spell there and foil. Argentum Masticore. We've opened quite a few of him. I think this card's strong. It'll be interesting to see if this card finds a home. I think in the right decks with some right recursion, this could be a great card at the top of the curve to kind of pivot into getting value out of the yard, into dumping and taking advantage of more card draw to just shore up the board state. So we will see. Canker Bloom is another fantastic 2-drop uncommon in the set. I said it before, I'll say it again. Some 2-drops and uncommons in here are just superbly on rate. Whew, okay, so busting out foil Nahiri. Love it. That's our first one we've opened. So white, red, 1, and a Boros Phyrexian mana, and she can come in completed. So for 3, she's dropping at 3 loyalty and costs you 2 life, or you pay full retail for 4 mana and she's 5, which is great. She's got 2 +1s. Her first +1 is until your next turn, up to 1 target creature attacks a player each combat if able. So kind of forcing a combat. Her other +1 is discard a card, then draw a card. Great for her colors. I mean, that's just some looting. What do they call it? Rummaging, I guess, when it's in red. And her 0 is exile target creature or equipment with a mana value less than her loyalty from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. It gains haste. So great little clutch card to come down. She's pretty awesome. So nice little foil mythic there. Jor-Kadim. Actually haven't opened him yet either. Red and white for a 2/2 trample. Whenever Jor-Kadim, first Gold Warden, attacks, it gets +X/+X, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then if his power is 4 or greater, draw a card. Fantastic card. I've seen this with the glider on some arena stuff, just absolutely coming out of nowhere. Kind of looks evocative of Embercleave gameplay, where if they aren't finished and you don't have them totally dead to rights, they can just pop off and steal the game like 4, 5, 6, 8 life turns. If you don't have full confidence of what's there and to answer what's coming next, they can get you. So pretty cool. Powerful little Boros pack here. Powerful Boros. Skrelv's Hive, little Skitter Blossom. All right, this box is treating us very, very nice. Ooh, an Urtet in the regular frame too. Right now, if you don't know, I mean, Skrelv's Hive, that's the white Bitter Blossom. Fantastic card. It's the action. I expect that card's price to rise with Wedding Announcement still in standard. Those cards just have too much value, too much synergy. The Anthem side from Wedding Announcement just turns that on with Skrelv. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good stuff, whether you pair it with Rafine or just go in straight or play some black over the top to proliferate and cover yourself and have a Kaya in there to hose. You can bring in the 2 Wandering Emperors. You can bring in Kaya. There's so much you can do right now with white. It's amazing. And then Urtet, if you haven't seen him, he's 3 for a 2/2. And whenever you cast a mirror spell, create a mirror. Great. At the beginning of combat on your turn, untap every mirror, so you can tap them all for mana first. The beauty is when tapping them for mana for Wooburg and tap, put 3 +1/+1 counters on each mirror you control. Activate only during your turn. So you can put all your mirror to work, go to combat, untap, and then attack as they're just loaded. A couple swings with, I mean, this lets Wooburg play the Mirror Commander deck. You can bring all your shapeshifters in. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. So the Mythic slot's been treating us quite well so far in this box. Optimistic that we're going to see the pattern I like to see. When your first few packs are loaded with Mythics, you kind of go into a stalemate in your middle packs. And then your last few bring it around and you end up with one of those boxes with a higher, because you kind of clip the end of one Mythic run and the beginning of another in the collation. We'll see if that pans out, but sometimes a pattern we observe is like once your Mythic count gets high enough early, things tend to kind of edge out in your favor. We'll see. All will be one. We have not opened that card yet. Let's see. Oh, Dash Hopes. Classic throwback from Planar Chaos. Little dashy hopes there. Mesmerizing Dose and foil. Soulless Jailer. New little modern graveyard hate for sure. Fly Through Veils. Little foily mountain looking cool. Oh, there we go. Another foil mythic. That's pretty special. 2 foil mythics in one box is way above rate for most anything. Ikermore Gauntlet. Blue and 2. Planeswalkers you control have 0 proliferate and -12 take an extra turn after this. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter on that kind of permanent. So when you cast your spell that proliferates, you can proliferate and then add one more. And I mean, this really lets Super Friends drop a really interesting threat, because those take an extra turn ults are what's going to let that Atraxa deck say, okay, critical mass, take 2 extra turns, and go off. Ugin, Karn loops, all the good stuff. Beautiful foil there. 2 foil mythics. Evolved Spinoderm, 2 green and 2. When it enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters, it has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer oil counters on it. Otherwise, it has hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from it. Then if it has none, sacrifice it. So, a little juiced up Blastoderm to meet today's... You know, if you want to know cards are better, Blastoderm at Rare needs multiple other abilities to be even considered. So, there you go. All right, but this box is cruising. So we're gonna have ourselves a very good day of Magic here. Cinderlash, Ravager, Cinder/Slash Ravager, and foil. The Monumental Facade. A couple uncommons there for our Phyrexian art. And we'll cruise through. Beautiful commons. Little Verinclex Forest. It's like a location in a RPG. Verinclex's Forest. You know, Verinclex is the Winnie the Pooh of all the creators. Unctus, Grand Meditect. 2 blue and 1. When other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card and discard a card. So every blue creature you control has looting. Just on being tapped, which is great. Other artifacts you control get +1/+1. And then for a blue Phyrexian, until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a blue artifact in addition to its other colors and types. So kind of a new riff on what Memnarch did, but when you pay that cost for 2 life, you can just get it out of pretty much any creature you have on the battlefield and just set them up to take advantage of both of his boosts there. So kind of a cool little guy, Unctus. See if he shows up in the right type of blue artifact decks. Arkham Dagson has some action with that. I can see it. All right, Nissa there on our art card. That's another card we get to open, is the Nissa or the Vraska. Ruthless Predation. Malira, the Living Cure. Great little anti-token card. Blue and 2 for the Mirage Mockery. Choose one. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control, or create a token that's a copy of target non-artifact creature you control, and you can entwine for 6. Interesting. Huh. Not sure the power level on that. That seems fair. I'm sure if you have the right conditions to get really big value out of those 2 triggers going off, it's worth it. Otherwise, I don't know if for 6 that's the best thing, but you don't sacrifice those tokens. So these two copy effects. Argothian Elder. Tap, untap up to 2 target lands. Wow, that's a fantastic elf to get reprinted. Sharpen your ears, she says. Lovely little list slot. Our list spins very good to us in this box. Scheming Aspirant. All will be one. Boom. Wow. This is a good box. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all be one deals that much damage to an opponent. creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker. There's about 6 infinite loops for this card right now, I believe. Quest for Pure Flame and several others out there. Expect this to be like a new red. I mean, this is Thassa's Oracle for red, for Commander. It is just a win condition. It might be, we might see that win condition get played in other formats. So heads up on that one. All will be one. And here's the rare double mythic pack, because we've got Phyrexian Art Tyrannus Rex. This spell can't be countered. Trample, Toxic 4, Ward 4, Haste. You need to deal with this. One of the best ways to deal with it is Sheoldred's Edict. Otherwise, think carefully. This thing will wreck you. Beautiful. Man, loaded right now. We are loaded. Vat of Rebirth, Against All Odds. Just another great pack. Again, loaded with 2, fantastic uncommons. So quite the loaded pack. And a swamp. Whew. If you only had to open one, that might be the one right there. Hexgold Halberd in foil. Koth, there he is. So 2 red and 2. For +2, search your library for a basic mountain, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Okay. For -3, he deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. Okay, and -7, you get an emblem whenever a mountain enters the battlefield. So Koth is pretty mediocre. He seems like the least desirable card. Not unplayable, but just a very kind of yawningly fair planeswalker in a set where there's multiples that are much more interesting than him. So sorry, Koth. Sad to see you back. I always liked original Koth. I thought that was an almost underplayed card, and I know, Esper Cawblade with like Geist of Saint Traft and Squadron Hawk and Jace TMS and Stoneforge Mystic kind of destroyed that standard for a while, but Mono Red with Koth was pretty good at the start of Scar's standard. Annihilating Glare in foil. Vran, Executioner Thane. He's our old friend. Open him in every box. Good to see ya. And Geth. Seems like we can't get away from Geth either, especially in the alternate art. Man, we've gotten 3 alternate art rares, one of which was Mythic, so definitely high on the Coalition. I wish a couple of those were better in the Phyrexian art. The Geth and the Rakdos Sack Outlook Guide, not so good. But Tyrannus Rex holding it down for us. Blight Belly Rat in foil. Slow Bad Iron Goblin, I'm sorry. Because he was friends with Bosch Iron Golem originally, Foily Swamp. All right, we're almost done here, kiddos. I think we got 7 packs left. Lucky 7. Take our final draw. Ossification in foil. Ooh, and second Nahiri on the box. An Azuri and alternate art. Boy, we are crushing it in alt art rares in this box. Azuri, Stalker of Spheres, blue, green, and 2. When Azuri, Stalker of Spheres enter the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do proliferate twice, whenever you proliferate, draw a card. Fantastic commander for the proliferate Simic deck. Fantastic. Boy. Okay, so 6 more packs. Are we going into another meaty set of mythics? We get hooked up. Thrumming Bird in foil. Capricious Hellraiser. Costs 3 less if you control 9. If you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard, he's a 4/4 flying. When it enters the battlefield, exile 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Choose it. So he's kind of a non-bow with his own power. That guy's okay. But he is a mythic. Wow. Okay. So again, another mythic. So we are kind of seeing that high concentration of mythics early and high concentration of mythics late. Hopefully our luck continues. Would love to pull another LFNR or another Skitter Blossom. Kemba's Legion. Little throwback from Scar's block. Vigilance, 4/6 for 7. And it can block an additional creature for each equipment attached to it. Boy, don't think we're going to be doing that anytime soon. Kaido, though. Nice little Planeswalker rare there. I think that completes our playset of Kaido from 3 set booster boxes. 4 Kaidos on the day. So, ready to go. Let's see what else we got. Boy, this looks like something out of Returnal. Fist of the Suns. Boy, the list slot. Not joking. You could pay Word rather than pay a spell's cost. That might be really cool for that mirror deck. That is the Infinity Gauntlet. Pretty cool. Sawblade Scamp and foil. Monument to Perfection. I think there's some interesting potential. I think that's a fun alternate win card there. The Monument to Perfection. Alrighty, boys and girls. Last three. Oh, Blightsteel Colossus. Gosh, dang, this box has been good to us. Blightsteel Colossus and a Sword of Feast or Famine in our list slot. Oh my god. Ridiculous. And the red Dominus. So we are just loaded on mythics here. We're going to do a final recap, but I mean, this box is way overrate on mythics, man. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I think we're looking at a 10 mythic set booster box. Those are always the loaded ones. So we'll do a recap at the end. Some really saucy stuff. The list seems to be loaded. I mean, I pulled a Phyrexian Altar from another box in one of my videos. Blackcleave Cliffs, only rare fast land that we've opened so far in this box. So you can't get them all. You don't get them all, but you do get quite a bit. We did really well. Again, this product is loaded. It's almost like there's just so many good cards. You're not going to get them all in one box, but you are going to get a lot of good stuff. So again, Phyrexia all will be one. Kudos. Incredibly strong product. Predation Steward. Azuri. And that'll be it for us today, kiddos. So before I let you loose, one more quick recap on how many mythics over here in our list slot. First off, quite a bit of list cards. We pulled two mythics and 3 rares, so phenomenal. Blightsteel Colossus and Sword of Feast or Famine in our list slot. That already is pretty strong value for what we got going on, so we'll leave those. We'll make a little pile to show off our big goodies here. Boom, very strong. Some more rares. Sorry, guys. Keep knocking the camera. Then we go to our mythic slot, Honest. And, you know, Dominus, he's okay. Nahiri, we did get an alt art. We got All Will Be One. Foil Ikermore Gauntlet. Urtet. Foil Nahiri. Phyrexian Vindicator. And the Chiscoria. So, I mean, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mythics in a box. That might be the most mythic rares I've ever opened. I know some of it's including Commander. And that doesn't even include our rare slot where we've got multiple Planeswalkers, multiple Azuris, you know, some whiffs. Koth ain't that great. But Skrell's Hive, so Skitter Blossom, Phyrexian Arena, Norn's Wellspring, Mycosynth Gardens. So, another phenomenal box. With that, kids, I'll just say Phyrexia All Will Be One does not disappoint. All will be #1 set of the year, possibly. It's just like Kamigawa last year. The first set of the year is just loaded. So, expect to see reprints of this set. Otherwise, have a great week. Collector's Boosters unboxing coming. Love you. Peace.